OK, hands up all those people who want to sell their house. OK, hands up anybody who wants to buy a house. There he is! There he is, there's one! Shut the door, we got one! I'll give you my house and 25 grand. Right, sod off, this is my punter. I mean, you know there's a recession on when you see estate agents' windows with blackboards in them and they're marking house prices down by the hour. You know you're in trouble. I mean, you can't give houses away these days. And people are resorting to desperate measures to pay their mortgages. You know, they're buying a suit of armour for the lounge, a wildebeest for the garden, and opening up the semi-detached as a stately home-come safari park. If they've got kids, they dress them up in monkey suits and paint the bums bright red and get them to jump all over your car and tear the windscreen wipers off, you know. You can finish the trip with either a ride on the water whip, where you slide down the banister straight into the washing machine, whiz round 30 times and throw up over the cat, or the new white knuckle ride, where they strap you into a bath chair, fit you with a Salman Rushdie mask and wheel you at high speed through the local mosque. You'll find that when there's a recession on, people tend to look to the past for comfort. That's why people are spending all their money on this pathetic imitation Victoriana. You ever been to one of those houses where they've got a wood-burning stove? Because it's so much more natural than a gas cooker. As far as I can see, it's got 2 levels of heat, blast furnace and meltdown. You sit in front of it in a Baker foil suit and a welder's hat. You have to have the walls, floors and ceiling totally covered in ex-Apollo 14 re-entry tiles. After wood-burning stoves, what else can we bring back from the past? Hey, come round, everybody, we've got a bucket lavatory. It's just like the old days. We share it with 200 other people in the area and you only have to walk to the next time zone if you want to slash. You must join us next week. We're going the whole hog. We're going to live on bread and margarine, fill our hair with nits and inject the children with TB. Thanks, I'll pass on that one. How they coped all those years ago, I'll never know. Remember when there was no such thing as a remote control for your television? And you had to get out of your chair to change the channel. How did people do that? Toshiba have got a brilliant new invention now. It's called a remote control. And it's voice activated. All you have to do is shout, Channel 4. It comes over and presses the buttons on the remote control that's on your lap and saves you having to move your arm down. I wish I could invent things. I had a great idea once on how to help people who kept biting their nails. I thought, why not go round all the houses and get all the people who don't bite their nails to give you their nail clippings, put them into packets and sell them to people who do bite their nails. Then any time they fancied a nibble, open a packet of Carrott's crunchy clippings and save your nails. I was going to give them different flavours as well, you know. Nicotine, Tipex, and for addicts who chew their toes, Gorgonzola. Trouble was, I was beaten to it by pot and noodle. More recently, I thought I'd try and make a few bob for the local school sports day by getting some sponsorship deals together. The local Indian restaurant for the 100-yard dash, Sellafield for the 3-legged race, and Durex packet of 3 for the triple jump. If you can't make money today, how about investing in the future? Why not buy antiques for the future now? Trouble is, what will be antiques in 50 years' time? Well, you just have to think what's pretty stupid today that you wouldn't be seen dead buying. You've got a fair chance of it becoming a collector's item. Take anoraks with detachable hoods, worn by train spotters and door-to-door collectors and anybody with dandruff. That's why the hoods are detachable, because they have to keep emptying them out. And what about beaded car seat covers? I just don't understand the principle. I mean, what's the big thrill of driving along for hours sitting on an abacus? After a long journey, you can get out the car and let the kids play solitaire on your backside. A friend of mine, he was always into sort of making money. He's one of those people who was very well-meaning, but never quite got it right, you know. And he heard there was a shortage of guide dogs for the blind. So he bought a Rottweiler to train up as a guide dog. I mean, it was a vicious thing. I mean, everybody was terrified of it. Now, I remember going to his house for a dinner party, and halfway through the meal, the Rottweiler farted. And immediately, everybody put their hand up and said, "It's me!" Anyway, it was impossible to train as a guide dog. So this friend thought, well, forget dogs. Why not guide cats? He was serious. I said, what do you want? He said, yeah, get guide cats. He said, you can. I said, don't be stupid. He said, why not? I said, because cats are bloody independent animals. That's why. I mean, can you imagine if blind people started using guide cats? They'd spend all day sitting on top of the garden shed. Or lying under vans and only moving when the engine starts up. If anyone called at the house, you'd have to go backwards and forward, brushing the legs, you know. And crossing the road would be a nightmare. You'd be hiding behind a privet hedge for hours and suddenly, whoosh, you'd be dragged across the road whether anything was coming or not.